Hey gang, we all know Spotify has become the ultimate app destination for music lovers. I have an account and I love it. I find new music by following Tastemaker playlists, and I make my own playlist that I share featuring music from guests that have been on the show. But did you know that aside from millions of songs, Spotify now has all of your favorite podcasts, including How Did I Get Here? Yes, all of your podcasts are available on Spotify. Just go to Spotify.com or download the app from your app store, and don't forget to follow How Did I Get Here? That's Spotify. Millions of songs, thousands of podcasts. Let's get down. Attention, Austin guitarist. Are you in need of setup or repair on your axe? Well, I have the guy for you. That's my friend Jason Swedberg over at J. Scott Lutherie. You can find him at J. Scott Lutherie on Facebook. Gang, I've been taking my guitars to Jason for over 20 years, and not only does he do the very best job, but he has the fastest service and the best prices in town. Find him at J. Scott Lutherie on Facebook or jason.swedberg@gmail.com. Gang, whether it's acoustic or electric, Jason is your guy. Get your guitars fixed.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here is your host,
All right, hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys have all had a good week. Getting back into it. People are going places. Are you still a little confused about the mask thing? Because I am. I'm wearing my mask every time I walk into a place, and people are either wearing masks like at the grocery store, or they're not wearing masks like at like Continental Club or something. So I remove the mask when I have to, but I don't quite know exactly what to do. And of course, if you take an Uber somewhere, then that's still a mask thing. I don't know. It's very confusing because I don't know exactly how it works. Like where we rehearse, you wear a mask when you walk through the place, but then when you go inside and rehearse, you can take it off because we're all in the room together and we're vaccinated. It gets a little bit confusing. But I guess we'll get used to that as things move on. Hopefully the stuff is out of our lives. You know, that COVID, man, that was crazy, wasn't it? Jesus. What a crazy, crazy time. Hey gang, I want to let you know that if you are around tomorrow night around your television or around your device, Skyrocket the Band will be playing a show tomorrow night, Saturday, June 12th at 8 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. And I think there's some other places you can watch it, but it's Skyrocket the Band. And you can find us on Facebook or you can find us on YouTube or whatever. But we play, you know, doing the 70s and 80s cover jams. We got some stuff going on. We got some surprises. This is an all-request show. Our fans have spoken, and we are answering them with a set list of music that will hopefully satiate them until we play live in August. All right, we got some private shows in June, which I'm really excited about. But we come back in August, doing 6th and 7th at 310 ACL here in Austin, August 6th and 7th. And San Antonio, I believe Friday the 13th of August at Sam's Burger Joint. So anyway, you can find us at skyrockettheband.com. That's our website, or follow us on Facebook or whatever. We keep we keep things going on the Facebook and Instagram, let you know what's happening. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. So in my conversation today on the show, I divulged to my guest that last week, my girl and I split. I started dating someone back at the end of Snowpocalypse. I met her. We started going out. Things moved pretty fast. We were seeing each other every day, hanging out all the time, doing stuff all the time for a few months. Last couple of weeks got a little wonky, and we split up last week. So yeah, I'm back to a normal normal solo vibe. I don't want to say this is normal. But it's funny because I was bummed out about it. And when I was talking to my guest today, Primo The Alien, I was still, pretty bummed out about it. And I was talking to my friend Todd, and he said to me, man, well, at least you had those few months that were real cool. You were having a great time. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I was. And you know what? These things, they seem... Look, I've been in her position too, where you're like, hey, I can see kind of the future of where this is going, and I don't think it's going to work out. So I'm just going to bail now so that this doesn't turn into a terrible thing, which I understand, and that's totally cool, and I respect that, and it's true. However, when you're the person that's being told to, like, hey, man, look, I can see the future, it feels pretty bad, and you feel a little bit like the rug gets pulled out from under you. And I know it's all perspective. I know that she's a great person. She's out there just doing her thing, and she did get that feeling. I've had that feeling before, too, more times than people have had it about me. So maybe it's karma. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm doing better and I'm doing all right. And I do have to tell you guys that I have a great show for you today. As I said, Primo the Alien is here. Laura Lee Bishop, amazing synth-pop retro wave artist. She has dual EPs out right now. Heart on the Run is a more pop EP. And it's available now wherever it is you stream and download your jam. But she does have a second EP, vinyl exclusive, called Rock Professor. And so you can find both of these EPs. They're available on vinyl. You can go to primothealien.com. She's got a very active Bandcamp. And in fact, she was number 2 on vinyl pop sales on Bandcamp last week for Heart on the Run and Rock Professor. Go to primothealien.com to get involved. Now, this is Laura's third time on the show. Primo's third time on the show. She was on back a couple years ago, and then we became friends. And I remember she came out to a show that I did, and we sang a song together, and that was really fun. She's very, 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 very talented. She's an amazing singer. She's a great bass player. She's a great all-around musician. She's a great producer, and she's just a fucking great songwriter. Great songwriter. So she was also on at the beginning of the pandemic when I first started doing him on Zoom last year in March. So it's a completely different conversation. A lot of great things have been happening for her. She was on the top 100 lists of artists to watch by TuneCore in Billboard last week. And as I said, number 2 on the vinyl pop sales on Bandcamp. Her song My DeLorean has over 1 million plays. She's gotten to do a lot of great shows this year at 310. She's done some Black Fret stuff. She started an OnlyFans. She has a great podcast with her friend Joe Barlow called Heavy Friending, which you can find wherever it is you stream or download podcasts. And there's something I forgot to talk to her about. I wanted to ask her, and I see it written down in my notes now, and I'm like, damn, I should have looked at my notes more. But Jim Steinman, I feel like there's some songs on this album, Rock Professor, which is more of a rock, the EP version, the vinyl exclusive one. It has some Jim Steinman moments, like songwriting wise, like, you know, the guy that did Bat Out of Hell and Making Love Out of Nothing at All for Air Supply. And what was the other one? The Turn Around, that Bonnie Tyler song. So anyway, I didn't get to ask her about that, but I'm sure she's going to be on again. She's a fucking great songwriter. She's a great musician. She's a great artist. She's a great friend. And I love talking to her. And I actually come clean to her about the breakup on the show because I just felt normal talking to her. So without further ado, please enjoy my conversation. Oh, one more thing. When she came in, she was on her phone and she was in the middle of a fight with someone in her direct messages. And so when we start the show, she's kind of finishing that up, and that's what we're talking about. Okay? So here's me and Primo the Alien chatting it up. Let's get down.
I try to run away from your memory, but I just can't do it. I end up right back where I met you, baby. I play it all in my head. What went wrong? How did we end up like this?
It's great to see you.
Hi,
You look great.
I'm here.
I just remembered that I saw you during the pandemic when you played bass with Dossie, right?
Briefly, yeah, we ran into each other at the Love and Light stream show.
Yeah.
Let me make sure this is off. Okay, I'm just gonna get that phone away from me because I'm over here like, you know how it is when you get into some like internet fight.
What's going on? You came in here. I hadn't
Coming in
seen you in
hot.
over
I'm
a year.
so
except
sorry,
for that one
Gowdy.
time. You're just like on your phone. You're
I'm
going
sorry.
after. And I just gave you some
And that was very
juice
nice
to
of
make you angrier.
It's gonna,
Anger juice.
I feel like coffee relaxes me. Actually, it's like the ritual of it is nice. Yeah, it's like a long story. I don't know if I've talked about it on anything locally.
Okay.
Because the parties concerned are all involved in this in the synthwave genre.
Okay.
And so I make synth like 80s pop music.
Yeah.
It's a subsect of synthwave music, which is like retro, usually instrumental music. And a couple years ago, I put out a song called My DeLorean.
Yeah, love that song.
Just
over a million plays,
over
by
a
the
million
way.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
job. That's great. And I released it with someone named Time Cop 1983. Well,
Right.
it was a whole thing because I wrote and recorded and produced a song and then sent it to him. And he said, basically, I love it how it is. I really don't want to change anything about it. How would you feel if I put my name on it? And we released it that way. So he added to his credit, he added a pad or something over the top.
Okay.
Basically nothing. And then featured me on my own song and listed himself as the main artist. I went along with it because I didn't want to lose the collab because he's quite popular. And I was like just trying to get listeners and all that stuff. So a while later, it bothered me. He went and did a bunch of interviews where he said that he produced it. It was just things that were really like untrue. And you know how I am. I just couldn't keep it in anymore. So I maybe exposed him a little bit. So I exposed him. I wrote a little piece about it and how important it is to credit people for their work, how I went along with everything.
Right.
But he was in a position way over me. Like I was a nobody. He had so many fans and listeners, very popular guy. And the fact that he even wanted to do it that way is so fucked up. Like, why would you want to be a main artist on a fucking song he didn't make? You know what I mean?
It's that good, though.
Pardon me?
It's that good.
Oh,
Maybe
thank
it's that
you.
good.
Well, he really liked the song. He did. He really liked the song. And so I asked him to change it. He didn't change it. And then that's when I basically told everybody, this is the deal. I fucking made this song. He didn't. And he won't change it. He won't fix the credits. And so because of that, thank God, Amy Lombardi at TuneCore here found out about it. She fucking took care of it, dealt with him, got everything fixed so that now that I'm an artist on my own song.
That's good.
Right. So he just released some statement today about it. It's a year later after all that. And basically admitting to everything. Like, yeah, I didn't produce really on it much and whatever, and she said it was fine. And I guess I didn't know she would be mad about it. And I'm like, why would you not think? I guess that's the part that's like blown my mind.
Right.
It's like, I didn't know you'd be mad that I was the main artist on a song that I didn't do anything on and then made you a featured artist on your own song. I guess I didn't realize you'd be upset. So anyway, I was just arguing with someone, but now I'm done arguing. The moral of the story here is y'all, stand up for yourself and, get that stuff, even if it's scary to say, because I was scared of losing the collab.
Right.
So I was going along with things that I shouldn't have gone along with. And the moral of the story is to stand up for yourself. And even if you have to do it a year later, just do it eventually. And, because when I did it, people were like, oh, you're done now. Because he's like pretty much, this artist is like one of the biggest artists in this genre.
Yeah.
And people were like, you're done. Like, you should never have done that. You should have never said that. You're dead now. And funny thing, when I said something, I maybe had like 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. And a year later, I have 75,000. So that wasn't true. Stand up for yourself. Speak up.
Hard on the Run is available, but Rock Professor is only available on vinyl right now. Is that right?
Yeah. So this is how it is. Oh wait, did you do I guess you do like an intro.
Yeah.
You say all of it
I'll say all the stuff.
What it is.
People know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's Rock Professor is vinyl exclusive.
Okay.
We can play one song from Rock Professor today if you want. Do you play songs on here? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm shocked that I did that because I was like so intent on having these out. But the more I started releasing singles, my direction is changing so much. And Rock Professor is going to be really confusing for people who aren't like actual fans.
Yeah.
People who are though are going to understand. Like, they're going to get it.
No, I mean, I could see how like people would be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's going on with this?
Yeah. So when I think about like Spotify and Apple Music, stuff like that, putting that, I just could see it being just not a good idea. So, but what I like about doing it this way is that now I can, in the future, make these weirder, more avant-garde sort of tunes and release them in this fashion, like maybe only physically or,
What, were all those songs just coming out?
Are all of them?
No. Were they coming out of you? I'm sorry. Were they were coming out of you and then you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't go with this. This goes over here.
No, actually, Time Cop 1983 made all of it. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even know who he is, but I love that name, Time Cop 1983.
Well, that's how every name in synthwave is. It's like Miami Nights 87, Neon Drive, they're all...
Yeah, Miami Vice. If you close your eyes, they're like Miami Vice episodes.
Yeah. So it does start to all run together at a certain point when there's like this, because there's a future cop, there's a time cop, there's like a midnight, a neon drive, a neon this, and you're like, there's a lot of that stuff. But anyway, no, I just write whatever I want. I never, I don't have like a label like that where I have to deliver anything or anyone's going through my songs and picking which ones are, I just do.
But each of the EPs has a focus to it, like sonically. I mean, you're the only person on there, right?
Producing?
Like you're the only person making music on these things.
Yes. Well, no. So on the Rock Professor side, I produced all those by myself.
Okay.
The Hard on the Run side, I produced with Taylor J. Webb.
Okay.
So, which was awesome.
How did you guys do that? What is that? Is he here?
Yes, he's here in Austin. He works with Dossie, Lady Heartwing, which is MC Glacier's new project. He is wonderful. Working with him was a dream. I was at a point with my producing where I wanted to do more faster. I was just taking me too long for a lot of things. Doing everything yourself just gets in the way. I was exhausted, like creatively exhausted.
Yeah.
And also, I just have a very specific style that I was trying to modernize a bit more. So Taylor came in and polished things up and made things shine and just
did a great
added
job.
A modern element. And his mix, he mixed as well. And I think he's just so talented. And
it's really great.
It was a great experience. So
yeah. I think that EP is really, like, Hard on the Run is really, like, your best.
Thank you so much.
Work.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Do It Again, right? That's the first song?
Yes.
Okay. That song's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Reminds me, not in it, this is, like, in the best way possible. I love them, and I've seen them twice. Haim.
Oh, I love Haim.
Has that vibe of, like, a Haim.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that so all of those were written all the songs on Hard on the Run were written during the pandemic. In the summer, I remember writing Do It Again and just knowing it was good. When you write, get the hook and you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, I want to listen to this song.
Yeah.
I'm not annoyed. And I'm still not annoyed with it yet.
That's
which,
good.
usually by this point, I'm like, I hate this song. I hate it. And I never want to hear it again. So yeah, I felt good about that one. And I remember dancing like crazy to it. I put it on like a loop and I was just like dancing around my studio. And that is kind of, I think I'm trying to think of how, like, when I started bringing Taylor in. That one, I think I did a good amount of production on. Mm-hmm. It was kind of there, but I wanted it to like really pop. And Taylor did such a good job. That's when I was like, okay, we're going to do more than I thought. Originally, I thought I can't remember how many songs I was going to do, like 2 or something with him. And then I was going to already put out, Rock Professor and maybe add a couple. And then I wait, and I had to rethink everything.
Right.
Rock Professor was already mixed and mastered, and I actually had it remixed and mastered by Taylor so that it would be more cohesive.
Match a little. Yeah.
Or mixed by Taylor. It was everything was mastered by Bob Boyd at Ambient Digital. So yeah. What was I saying? I'm sorry. Hi. I'm here.
I just realized I'm sorry I didn't go to your show on Thursday. I got dumped, dude. I got dumped last week.
The girlfriend?
The girlfriend dumped me.
Oh, no. Gouty?
Yeah, total dumping. Yeah.
What? Okay. Well, let's talk about it.
Well, it's all right.
You don't want to go into why at all? What happened?
I'm in the forensic era
Okay.
of the post relationship thing where I'm going through and going like, oh yeah, I can see, because it was only a few months,
Well,
3 months or something.
Are you seeing things that you did wrong?
Sure.
Okay, well that's good because a lot of people don't
Yeah, yeah.
ever get to that
No,
place.
yeah.
You know?
When you
Ever.
get dumped, you start seeing the things you did wrong.
Some people do the opposite.
My dad. Oh, she's
It's like-
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all them. They never.
She's crazy.
Yeah. So that's good. That's like, a lot of people don't have that level of self-awareness. So
Yeah. Yeah.
good for you.
Anyway, how was the show? Because it
It was
rained,
great.
right?
Played South Congress Hotel. What a sweet gig to play at First Thursdays. All right.
Oh, yeah?
It's a sweet gig. If you're a musician and you're listening, you want that gig. Pays well. They gave me hotel rooms.
No shit.
It was lovely. Lovely. It did rain, but they brought it inside. They have a big event space inside. So they opened up the whole wall there. So it was open. And then I played inside. It was great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was a really good show.
And you're doing these shows with a band?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a full band that plays with me.
How much do you do? You got to do some tracks, don't you?
Oh, it's mainly all tracks. I tell every person mixing, I'm like, we play to the tracks. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but I'm
Right.
like, I don't want to say it like this, but they're like props in a sense,
Yeah,
the
'cause
tracks are playing.
yeah.
You're just there to give the stage energy and give me something to play off of.
Right,
Which
right.
is, I can interact with you over here. I can come over here. We're moving some air.
Right. I always have that thing where when I see somebody on Saturday Night Live that's just a person by themselves up there doing the thing, I'm like, I mean, I get it and it's cool and that's
Yeah.
what they do, but I just after half the song, you're like, all right, I've seen you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this thing.
So it's a lot of tracks, yeah. And that's a whole other, man, I'm telling you, I used to be in rock bands and I used to make rock music, and there is nothing harder than playing pop music live. So
It's even harder. I'm glad
so
that you're
hard.
bringing this up because I also to me, it seems I mean, you can't. Are there places you just can't play because they can't accommodate? I'm imagining that with the burgeoning pop scene, just between you, Dossie, and MC, whatever she does when she does live, I'm sure there's going to be tracks. So do it Katie Rain. I've seen a lot of people use tracks. And in fact, that night that I went to go see you guys, Max Frost,
Oh,
it all
God.
went down in the first song. Remember that?
Yeah.
You had to go get a
I was
fucking
in the
different
back.
computer.
I was in the back of the stage. I think there's a lot of, tracks are scary and hard. I always bounce emergency set, which I put because my tracks are in stereo and they're mixed. They run them out of Logic, but I always bounce an emergency one that is left is tracks, right is click, and someone in my band puts it on their phone who has a
Okay.
aux output,
yeah.
and then that's our backup
Okay.
plan.
Yeah.
Luckily, knock on wood, I haven't had that issue. I'm gonna have to do
That's
it
what
now.
I was looking for. Wood too.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue like that yet, but I mean, it happens. It totally happens. It's hard. It's just tough to translate a lot of times pop songs to live. It's tough, playing with the click.
It's tough doing it in a bar. If you're doing inside stubs, it's not necessarily totally accommodating to that.
And also, you have to really crank the tracks if you have a kit, because the kit just overpowers everything. It's crazy. So, it's a whole thing. It's a fucking mess every time. But it's also great too, because when you play to a click like that, I have visuals that play behind me that are really rad, and it's
awesome.
all synced up. So things are happening with the music.
Oh, and you just did a thing at 310 too, didn't you?
Did we sold out 310, which was
Fucking
I mean,
A.
it was limited capacity, but we would have sold it. I think we would have sold it out anyway. People were trying to get tickets after we closed.
It was
the
your
tickets,
show?
but I played with Sarah Jaffe.
Okay.
Yeah, which was really cool. When they first asked me to open for her, I always say yes. I'm like, yeah, I can do it. But then I was like, did they not know what kind of music I make?
Yeah.
I was a little confused, but I was like, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
But then I looked up her recent stuff, and she's making pop music, and I was like, okay, now it makes sense. But I was just going to let it happen anyway and see how it goes.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to give them a heads up, hey, I don't make acoustic singer-songwriter-y music.
Right.
Just going to go there and be Primo the Alien and see how they handled it.
There's a lyric I'm gonna all the gods of rock are shining blessings down on me, and I'm fucking free to blow your mind. I was like, yeah.
What a line.
When I heard that, I was just like, plus that song has like percentage-wise as many fucks as like Scarface.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Hearing it said like that, it sounds so funny to me. Though the song is a lot of my music is tongue in cheek and silly and funny and all that stuff. But yeah,
are there ever any people that don't get it? And like, man, that chick thinks that she's the shit.
Yeah, I think some people probably get that. And I'm fine with that. I do think I'm the shit, half the time, like everyone, makes music. I think I'm the best, and then I hate myself, and I vacillate between the two things. But yeah, that song is meant to be funny, but also it's very serious. Like what I'm saying is I may never make it. I may never be this thing that I want to be. Right. But it doesn't change what I am.
Right. Exactly. Which is
a rock professor.
Yeah.
So. So yeah, I don't know. I'm proud of that one. It's a fun one.
You do those songs live at your shows?
So live, we haven't done Rock Professor yet. I've done from that side. I've done the top. That one's like a crowd favorite. And Know What I Want. And then all the songs from the other side I've done live.
I was talking to, I know you did a show with Yate recently, and I was talking to Alex Chod last week.
The live stream thing.
Yeah, the live stream thing. I'll get into live streams in just a minute, but first I want
to say about it
for this thing. I realized, and it was because you were going to come last week, and I'd gotten into the EPs, and then he came on. I was listening to his thing, and then I was like, oh, I went and listened to like a couple of my songs, and I was like, we fetishize eras, artistically, but mine is like 10 years before yours.
Yeah. And Alex and I, I'll say Yate, so people go find Yate.
Yeah.
We are very like, simpatico.
Yeah.
We've got a similar sensibility.
Yeah. He's a little more laid back and smoother.
He's more like yacht rock.
Yeah. And you're a little more
like hair metal meets pop diva princess.
But it's interesting that the hair metal thing does come through in the attitude of it.
Yeah.
And the bigness of it.
The bigness.
Yeah.
The braggy, audacious gumption of it all.
Yeah. Where do you stand on that era? Like on hair metal? Do you listen to it?
I used to be in an 80s hair metal cover band.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What was that called?
Like an aficionado. Rock Hard.
What a great name.
Thanks. Yeah, I was the singer. So I sang all that, all that stuff.
Like what?
Rat, Cinderella Poison, I don't know, anybody. Pretty much all of them. All the ones.
Those songs are pop songs,
from really
though,
popular stuff to like more obscure. The guys were very into 80s hair metal, so they didn't want to play like pour some sugar on me. They wanted to play
yeah,
round and round.
Yeah.
So I did all that. Yeah.
Did you like doing it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a great exercise for a singer, to hit those notes. Those dudes were hitting high notes. Granted, they were doing it falsetto, and I was doing it full voice. But that's a good exercise. So if you can do that for like 4 fucking hours, on the river in San Antonio,
is that what those gigs
people
were?
Are like eating dinner? Yeah.
Do you don't do any gigs like that now, do you?
No, I do not.
No, you can't really do that as Primo. You can't show up at El Arroyo out there at happy hour.
I used to say yes to everything, and people said, "You won't. One day you're going to learn." Da, da, da. And they were right. I used to not care about money at all, and I really mean that. I was fortunate enough that my husband has a good job. I don't have to like worry about are we going to pay the bills this month. I'm so lucky in that regard. So it's always very much like whatever. I'll play it. It doesn't matter how much. I'm just I just want to play. I'm happy to be there. Blah blah blah. It wasn't until I started spending money, because before I was doing everything, like literally everything myself,
Right.
Every ounce of production, sometimes mixing,
now
mastering.
That you're hiring people and stuff to do stuff.
Now that I'm paying for things, I care about money all of a sudden. So money has been a factor now with me for shows, which never was before. I would just say yes, and then I wouldn't even think about what I'm getting paid. Now that's like my first question.
Yeah.
And now I think over the last year, just the growth I've seen, I feel less like just to be blunt, desperate for gigs, So I'm like, it doesn't feel like a good fit for me. Yeah. Even interviews. Someone recently asked me to do an interview, and then they sent me like a form of questions.
Oh yeah, I'd say no to those all the time.
And I always say yes, and I always sit there for like 2 fucking hours writing an essay for these people. And I said, you know what? I don't think this is a great fit for me.
Right. I do the same thing.
I've never done that before.
Oh.
It feels good to feel like you have a little control over.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
Ever since the early 2000s, and you start getting those, I might have done 1 or 2 at the very beginning, but then I'm just like, man, if you don't take the time to like talk to me, like, where's the follow up question? So it's just like these questions. That's
exactly.
it. Like,
yeah. And also, I'm out of school. I don't want to write an essay. Your job is to write it. Like, I don't want to write it. And then I'm worried about, and I'm such like a freak about grammar and shit that I'll like read it 100 fucking times.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So you know what I've been doing? Kind of, one person did that, and I just took my phone out and I talked into my phone and just rambled and rambled. And I said, here, I think you can get everything you need from that.
Okay. So what did they say about you in Billboard?
That I'm the #1 artist ever of all time. And they said they're going to shut the magazine down.
Did they?
They said this is it. And we found her, and this is what we've been looking for. And you guys can all stop reading. It's done. No, I was named as one of the top 100 indie artists to watch.
Oh, okay, so that was the by TuneCore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I'm assuming they're probably going to do a cover story, soon. So just stay tuned for that.
I think I was on the cover of it. Not a big picture, but in a small thing. But the picture was there.
I want to be on something, man. I got to get on something.
Do they even have magazines anymore outside of Rolling Stone? Like physical magazines?
Physical, they do, yeah.
Like Relics and like magazines about old bands. They have physical ones
because I fucking looked. Because I was like, I'm just going to try to get a copy of it so I can have it.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, whatever. It's a list or whatever. But it's still my name. It's still Billboard magazine, right?
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I'm trying to give you a compliment. Okay, also you're #2 on vinyl pop sales on Bandcamp. That was just over the weekend.
Okay, let me brag really hard. Okay. Number one in vinyl sales of all formats. I mean, of #1 in vinyl sales of all pop. #2 in all format sales of pop.
Shit, man.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
I'm not. You're really talented.
Thank you.
You're really, really, really talented, and you have a thing. You have a vision. That's another thing. You're not just like a talented person who doesn't know what to do. You're like a talented person with visions.
Almost like a deranged person. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's just one of those things. I think especially being in Austin and it not being as pop oriented and feeling somewhat, I don't want to say slighted, just maybe like unknown.
Right.
From local publications, local radio, all that kind of stuff.
I feel like all that's really changed over the last couple years.
I think it's starting, but just for me, I just feel like I personally, I just don't get a lot of, I just have a lot of clout in Austin, So
does that bother you?
No.
What do you want to?
It doesn't bother me.
Like,
it just always surprises me when.
Right, everyone else is into it.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm
sure.
like, oh, I guess I do have. Yeah, I have fans. I forgot. Because I'm just not. You live in your little bubble and your daily and you're in and out.
Right.
Is so.
Every
opposite.
few years, there's like a Black Pumas. Mm-hmm. Spoon.
Mm-hmm. Primo the Alien.
Cover
of Billboard magazine.
Who was that band that? That band.
Los Lonely Boys.
Yeah, Los Lonely Boys.
Yeah, I have that vision for me. It's just, and you know what? One thing, I can feel things starting to snowball. Seems like a negative term. I feel momentum happening.
Yeah.
So, like I put up, this is crazy to me.
You're on Spaceflight Records?
Yes.
Okay.
But so this is
They're
the thing
cool
about-
as shit, by the way.
They are. So you don't. Well, I don't know how to talk about this if that's like a known thing, but like Spaceflight is basically like I know they're trying to be a nonprofit,
Right.
So it's basically like a record label that helps you but doesn't like take anything from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's awesome. You don't have to like sign any shit away.
Yeah.
They want you to get signed to a bigger
another
label.
label. Yeah.
Like that's their goal. So it's pretty great to have like help and support there. And Samara Simpson there is rad. And
She's working there now?
oh yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was Samara. So I just released this vinyl and I paid for it my own and everything. I was like really freaked out about it. Like no one's going to buy this shit. I've spent all this fucking money. And Sam was like, sell you some test pressings. Put them up for like $100. And I was like, no one in the whole world is
A lot
going
of
to
Time
buy
Cop
that.
1983 fans out there.
And and listen, I sold my test pressings for $100 a piece.
Holy
Isn't that
shit.
crazy? Okay, that's another thing. Artists who are listening, sell your test pressings. Someone will buy them. That's what I think.
That's genius.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So who is your audience?
Most of my fans, my number one city is Moscow.
No
I
shit.
have so many listeners in Moscow. But like Moscow, LA, Chicago, New York, Atlanta.
Yeah, you're not like a Waco person. Like you're not,
No.
you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not blowing up in Waco.
No. London.
Which is good.
Sweden, Finland, Netherlands, So I would say primarily Europe. And then my biggest like U.S. cities are LA, New York, Chicago.
Where European music is, or what's popular
where
in
there's
Europe
dance
is
stuff
more,
happening. Yeah, exactly. So Austin's way down the list, but we can change that. We're changing it right now.
I want people in Austin to like you just simply because I want everyone in the world to like you. But
Thank you.
I understand just simply because I came up in this system. So I feel like I am on whatever the inside is. Mm-hmm. I think everybody feels left out at times. I mean,
It's not even left out.
No,
as
but I
much
know-
as I'm
I know what you
tired of-
mean.
I'm at a point where I feel like I see the same names.
Yeah.
For it's like, ooh, KTX on the green lawn or whatever, and it's literally like the same 10 people every time.
That's
And I'm
what
like,
Jackie was rallying against last year.
People
Yeah.
want to hear other stuff. And I've never played a show, even when I fucking played for MJ Hagar at the fucking Longview Civic Center thing in a brightly lit room for a bunch of people over 70 years old around 3 p.m.
Right.
Have I not won over a crowd? So I just got to get in front of the people and they'll come.
Yeah.
Just got to keep working at
You
it.
know what I think a lot of that stuff, especially like when you look at something like Blues on the Green, I think it's laziness. I think like at one point
Yeah, I
they
agree.
packed the place with Bob Schneider. So next year when you're doing it, well, Bob packed it out. So let's get him.
No, I agree.
And then it just gets smaller and smaller. And then eventually it's just this weird tiny thing that eats itself.
Also, Austin is a bit incestuous, and the people making those decisions or like programming at the
Right,
radio
right.
and writing for the Chronicle or writing for, whatever, are all friends with the people they're writing about or playing. And it's like this, like everybody's hanging with each other, So I get it.
It's like that in the
your
world,
friend
too,
put a
though.
song out and you want to put it on the radio.
Yeah.
I understand it. I'm not against it. I believe in like, I say it all the time. I'm a fucking wiggle worm and I'll worm. I'll worm all over this town and
Yeah.
I'll make you my fucking friend to where you play me on the radio if that's how it's got to be, I just need to make some more friends, Gowdy.
Do you feel like pop music? do you feel like pop music, since even from last year when we talked, or even from the times before, it's gotten a little bit more of a seat at the table in Austin?
In
right?
Austin, yes.
Yeah.
I think that like the Black Lives Matter movement helped a lot with
Everyone.
diversifying
Right.
the sound.
Right.
And I'm just going to speak. I mean, I'm for the women in town. It is still kind of a boys' club in town.
Sure.
And also, I mean, I just think it's important that we highlight and give voice to female producers, female mixing engineers, mastering engineers, female guitarists and bass players, and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So I think that it is getting better, and I think people are maybe recognizing the lack of diversity, and I mean that from race to gender to sexual orientation or gender identity, all that kind of stuff. We just need to be cognizant of it.
Yeah. And also musical styles.
And musical,
You know what I mean?
styles. Because
Like if you're a dude my age playing the blues, you're going to get a gig.
yeah. And the thing is, you know, I get that we all have different tastes, and I think that's totally fine. And so I think if a DJ likes, you know, alt rock or whatever, that should be their shtick. But you
Right.
need to have a DJ on staff that plays pop, and you
Right.
need to have a DJ on staff that plays hip hop, and you need to have at your local station there. We need to be playing local music of all varieties.
Right.
So I'm hoping that's you know, gonna get a little better. It's getting better.
Do you get played on KTX?
I've had a song of the
day?
day,
Yeah.
or you know,
Yeah.
I've never been in rotation or anything like that, but you know,
I mean, that's a tall order too.
it is. But fun. Do It Again is such a like.
It is. It's a
I'm
great
like,
song.
put that on the radio, man. Like,
yeah.
that should go on the radio. It's no cursing. Okay, I
It's
kept
ready
it
to
clean.
go. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. It's got a hook. So I don't know. I think there's not really a space for it, because when I think about, I know that they just recently started doing like a more electronic, and I can't remember the name of the person who's doing it.
Okay. There's like an electronic show.
There is, but I'm not, you know,
It's weird electronic. It's not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's more
What's
like
missing is actual
instrumental
pop.
and EDM and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, we don't have any like legit pop. And when you say pop to these people, they think of like Vampire Weekend or something.
Yeah.
We're not talking
or
about
me
that.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I mean, like Dossie,
Right.
like me, like
Yeah.
you know, MC stuff. So we're getting there. We're just gonna keep plugging at it. I just, for the record, I'm not like bitter or upset about it.
No,
at all. I'm
no.
doing fine. I'm doing fine. I don't need
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Got the number one.
I don't even care.
You got the number one.
I'm shocked at that.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I was 100%. I'm not just saying that. First of all, I thought no one was going to buy the vinyl at all. And then everyone bought it, and I charted like that on Bandcamp, which is, I mean, it's Bandcamp. It's not like the Billboard charts.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, the Billboard charts, like someone goes gold, it's because they sold 18 albums or something. You know what I mean? It's a lot different than it used to be.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So I'm glad about that. And my main goal with the vinyl was that I would make enough on it that it would pay for itself.
Right.
And that has happened. So now I'm golden. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't spend all that money and it's
Yeah.
not coming back, you know? So that's good. Cause I do feel, you know, especially with not making, you know how it is, barely make any fucking money.
Yeah.
That, you know, I at least don't want to be in the red. I'd like to just
Right.
break even would be like ideal at this point.
Yeah, my
So-
thing is I just don't want to have to pay out of my pocket
Yeah.
to my people that I play with.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't care if I don't make any money.
How does it work for you with your band? Do you pay them like a fee
Yeah.
same every time,
Yeah.
no matter what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned that early. You know David Garza? He produced
No.
that last Fiona Apple album. Are you a fan of hers?
I do know Fiona Apple's music, but
He did.
I don't.
He did that record of hers that came out last year. But we came up together, and I remember I had gone solo. I had a band, but I was a solo artist now, right?
Right.
And we were just talking about how money works, and he was like, you know, I pay my dudes a certain thing, and so that means that like when I'm paying them out of my pocket in like Iowa,
Right.
I'm making like $1,500 when I do a show here in Austin.
Let me ask this.
Yes.
If you say you pay them, you know, $200 each or something, all right? If you made a shit ton on a gig, you still pay them $200 each.
I'm not playing with a band regularly enough
Yeah.
to do that. I would probably split it with everyone.
Okay, like evenly.
If it was more, yeah.
Okay.
I
Just wondering.
definitely would. But if it was a thing where it was like my sole income, I mean, I'm also in a cover band, and
Yeah, it's fucking
you know,
tough.
I can make money doing other things. So when I do my own thing, I can afford to do it the way I want to,
Yeah, yeah.
and afford the people that I like to
Yeah.
play with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely. I mean, if it was a thing where I set up that money, then I probably would pay them the same every time because when I didn't get
Gotta
any
try to
money
get
in
some
Iowa
change.
or whatever,
Exactly. And you
know.
got to pay. You're the one on the hook for the band practices and
Yeah,
the posters and the fucking merch and the and all the stuff.
How
God, it
did
adds up, y'all.
Oh yeah, it is
mean-
so expensive.
So you got to have T-shirts. You got to have CDs. You got to have records.
Did you
gotta
make
have-
CDs?
No, I didn't. Okay, that's another thing. People are like so mad about that. But
Yeah, who are these people with CD players?
they all want CDs. I think it's a synthwave thing. I don't know. I'm just telling you these. I'm going to say one thing. Synthwave fans, they buy stuff. They buy merch, but they really want cassettes and they really want CDs. I don't think I will do CDs, but I may do cassette, like a limited edition cassette or something like that.
Have you ever talked to Jonas Wilson, Mr. Pink Records?
No, I don't know anyone ever
He does a good
that.
he does a good thing, and I think it's set up where you don't pay for them up front.
He makes cassettes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think they keep it so that you don't have to put up an upfront thing. Like they
Yeah.
make them and
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, cassettes are relatively like cassettes ain't a risk like that vinyl was. Whew.
dude, but plus, I mean, it costs the same to make a full record as it does to make 2 records, doesn't it?
You mean
Didn't it cost you the same as if you put out Frampton Comes Alive doing a double record? Double vinyl?
you mean to put it on
to
the
produce it.
to produce it?
Yeah. Like a CD, if you make an EP and you put it out on CD,
Yeah.
you can't charge as much as you would if you had a 17-song CD.
Oh yeah.
Right? You see
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
see
saying?
what
But it
you're
still
saying.
costs the same amount to make.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess with vinyl, you can't really put a lot of songs on it. So I got out of having like a 17 song thing anyway, because there's only room for, I mean, I was at max capacity with lengthwise. But you know what? Who is making 17 song albums?
I don't know. It's not the year 1999 or 2000.
Please don't do that, y'all. I mean, no, that's a lie.
Well, you
do
realize-
whatever you want to do. Do what's good for you. But just from a business standpoint, I personally think, why?
You realize that all of this stuff happened, like where we're at with streaming, Napster, all of that shit happened because record companies were like, hey, why is there only 10 songs on this thing when there's room for 17?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, oh, because we only have 10 good songs. Yeah, but if you have 17 songs, we can charge $20 for the record
just-
instead of like 14,
Yeah.
and we can make all this more money. And then that's where it all
They could
started
have
getting
just
terrible.
charged 20 with and had 10 songs. You know, people are going to pay for what they want.
That's true.
Everything of that, guys.
No.
But here's what I think. I just think personally, I don't like to put filler shit on anything that I do. I want every single song to
Killer.
be like
No filler.
from my heart and mean something. And like, even if I need to believe in the song, like I don't really fucking care if other people believe in it, but I need to believe in every single song. And I want every single song to have its moment. When you put out that many songs at one time, it just gets lost in the sauce. I was able to, with this album, every single song on that pop side got its moment. You know, I had 4 singles essentially.
Yeah.
I did 3 singles, and then I put the 4 of them together, pushed Hard on the Run. And every single time that I did the single, I am then able to submit it for an editorial playlist on Spotify, which is really important. And I got
Terrible
one.
at that stuff.
I
did
thought
get one?
I thought it was a myth. I thought you had to be like on some label or what, you know. I just didn't think it was real because I never heard of anyone getting one.
Right.
I got it. Yeah, I got 2 Spotify editorials. So it's important. Every time you put a single out, that's another chance to get one of those. And the editorials are so important because that's how you really get in front of like, people hate Spotify. I get it. They don't pay, blah, 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 whatever. I don't think of it as a thing for making money. I think of it as the best marketing ever. I have a pool of millions of listeners or whatever right there at my fingertips and just trying to get to them. So those editorial playlists are awesome if you can get on one.
Yeah.
Because now you're just in front of all these random people, you know?
Yeah.
So
Do you ever think about? Oh wait, before I get to this thing, let's stay on this. Do you want a major label deal?
I like how you worded that.
It's as confusing as it is.
It's hard to answer that because it depends on what.
Yeah.
I want to be the emperor of the world. You know, I want to be very popular. I don't want to be. I want my music to be heard by a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And still live in anonymity. I don't think that's possible, but so I think to some extent, you know, a label comes into play at some point, but not. I don't want anyone telling me what to do. So there's that. If it was Clive Davis, you know, and he was like, "You're my project," and I want to sign you, then maybe, you know.
But I mean, he even had antiquated ideas for Kelly Clarkson, remember?
Yes, I do. But you know what, though? I feel like I remember Kelly's album wasn't really that good though. The one that she said that they wouldn't let her make on her own the way she wanted.
Yeah.
I really like her, but maybe she needed a little A&R going on or some.
Me and Einar's old guitar player is one of the co-producers of that record.
The one that she didn't.
The one that
she
did,
did
like
on her own?
they got Mike Watt to play bass, like from the minute one.
What was on that one? I can't remember.
There wasn't. I mean, that was the thing, was like, then there was the question of like, did they not push it because she went against the big person, or was he right?
Well, I don't know. I don't think of Kelly as like a songwriter in that way. I think of her more as like a team. There's a team. Kelly's a great singer and performer. And then there's a team giving her songs and helping her. I don't know. I mean, what do I fucking know? Kelly, do you? Do you,
I think
Kelly?
she does. She has like a talk show.
Yeah.
Like she's a
So what do I
TV
fucking
person.
know?
I don't know if she's singing anymore.
I'm just blabbing.
Okay, so the question I was going to ask is, do you have interest in producing other artists?
Yes, and I have started to work with a couple people here and there. I did do some producing for an artist during the pandemic. Actually mixed and mastered some.
Oh, you mastered something
her
too?
stuff too, and I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah, because I just like, that's so terrifying to me. I don't know. I feel very confident in my songwriting, singing, and performing abilities. I get more self-conscious about producing, even though I've been doing that for a while now. And then I get really self-conscious about mixing and mastering. I just, oh my God, it's like terrifying to me. But I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just not,
Well, there's some people that see themselves as you're a self-contained unit. If you want to be, you don't need other people. You can make a whole record by yourself,
Right.
and that's it. And people have great production skills, but don't really want to lay it on somebody else, or don't really want to work with other people. Don't have an interest in.
I love working with other people. I love collaborating. I love all that. I just think, I think I get a little nervous about, because I want the person to be really happy with the music. So, but yeah, I'm, a couple things in the works with some local people that I can't talk about yet.
That's cool.
But
well,
yeah.
I think also it would be good because there's a lot more pop people than at least I would have thought there was 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them come through here, but there's some that work at a level that's at the level of like pop people. And then there's other people that are like local and just kind of like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're using the right sounds and everything. You just don't have like the songs or
Right. There's always something missing, right? It's like you got the sounds, you ain't got the song. You got the song, you ain't got the sounds. You got both, but you don't know how to perform it. You got this, but you can't sing. I mean, it's so hard, Johnny, to find someone who's got it all, who's got the charisma, the talent, the looks, that's just that ineffable quality you're looking for. And
Je ne sais quoi.
I mean, I don't want to say, I'm not saying this, but people have said it's me. So, I mean, I'm kidding.
What about writing with other people? Say somebody comes to you and is like, hey, I really like...
I enjoy writing with other people too. But I have another project that's in the works right now.
What's that?
I have another band, but I can't say what it is. But just know you're going to love it.
Okay.
You're going to love all the people involved.
Okay.
And so yeah, I do enjoy writing with, and collaborating with other people. So hit me up, musicians, or hey, what are you, just a mom? Your kids are out of the house and you're like, I want to try something new.
There's a band like that
Hit
in
me
town.
up.
Have you ever seen them?
No, what are they called?
The Misses.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Some ladies learned how to play like when they were like 38 years old.
Good.
They've been on like the Today Show. They played
it.
at like the Playboy Mansion.
Rad. I'll be wearing a crop top until I fucking die. I don't care. Age is just a number. So
do you think it
power.
is?
To me, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be doing this until I'm dead. And maybe that'll be when I get in my car and leave here. I don't know. Or maybe I'll be 90. I always joke and say that I'm going to be the oldest recipient of Best New Artist at the Grammys. I'm just going to stay at it so long that it'd be impossible to not know who I am. And my whole shtick is just going to be that I'm just super old. And I'm not going to stop. So to me, it's just number. But I do think people, depending on the generation they were born into, maybe like disconnect from certain things, and so it feels like we're so different. But I think my generation, especially with the way that we're connected with the internet and cell phones and social media and all that stuff, I don't know if we will ever not be abreast of the new thing. Like I'm on fucking TikTok, you know, that's not my generation. I stay on TikTok. I love TikTok.
You're too old for TikTok?
No, I'm not too, well, I mean, it's more of like what is it? Gen X?
I don't know.
Is that what they are?
No, I'm Gen X.
Gen Z? Is that what they are?
No, Gen Z is after me. No, Gen Z might be the new. I don't know who
Gen
these
Z's
people. I know I'm Gen X. That's
I think it's more of a new Gen Z thing. Whatever. My point is, I'm always gonna do the new thing, you know. And I think that's a difference between maybe some previous generations where they were like,
I'm not on
these
TikTok.
old people are like, fuck cell phones. I'm not getting a cell phone, and now they can't fucking FaceTime with their family, and they're totally isolated.
Right.
And it's like, Grandma, you could play Words with Friends with your nephew if you just get on fucking your cell phone, get an iPhone. And then there's like the next generation who have cell phones but they just like don't want anything to do with social media and how's a tweeter work or whatever they, you know, when they try to act like they don't know what Twitter is. And then I think my generation was like, no, we're in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't TikTok. I feel like
So
it's
funny.
one more thing.
It is one more thing.
And it's a lot of lip syncing. I don't want to lip sync to anything.
You don't have to lip sync. Okay. I had like a couple, not viral ones, but I had a couple ones that got kind of views or whatever. One was me yelling at my dogs. And then at the very end, I start singing. Wait, I'm going to play it for you right now. Okay. I want you to hear the audio of it.
Okay.
Then one was of Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
A video of Charles Manson making a bunch of faces at a camera. And then one was during the ice storm when I made like a Full House video of me trying to warm myself up. Okay, here's my TikTok that got plays.
No.
That's good.
No, don't do that.
So then the response would be someone would take that video and mouth.
They could use the audio if they want for their own video. They could lip sync to it.
Did they do that?
But mainly people were like this, you know, they just weren't expecting
It's hilarious.
the scream. And I think maybe my caption was like, you know, they made me raise my voice or something of that of that nature. Anyway, I like TikTok. It's fun. But see, I don't post on TikTok for TikToks. To me, I just think of it as a fun thing.
Okay.
I think of Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that as more like working. This is more like, my dog looks. It's mainly all dog content. I'd say that's probably like 99% dog content. So
my dog died last summer.
I'm so sorry. My dog died in February.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, February, March.
How old was your dog?
He was 14.
That's how old mine was.
Yeah, it was horrible.
God
it was
damn it. I know.
Really tough. His ashes are still at the place. Like, I can't go pick them up because I know I'm going to have like a mental breakdown. And I keep being like, telling my husband, like, if we have to go together.
Yeah.
I can't go by myself or I'm going to just sob. But,
hey, what movie did you go see last
tough.
week? Your husband was off of work and just wanted to go to the movies.
I saw A Quiet Place.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
It was good?
It was good. And we went to this other one. It was like an Alamo Draft House, but not an Alamo Draft House. And it was like in, where was it? Like,
is iPick?
Wasn't iPick. It was called like Sinopolis or something like that. I don't know, but it was very spread out. We had 2 little recliners on the side by ourselves. So I felt good about it. And yeah, they have cocktails, beer, food, popcorn, all that stuff.
Do you have cocktails when you... Yeah.
Lean back.
You have cocktails when you go to the movies?
Yes.
You do?
If there's ever cocktails anywhere, I have them.
Okay.
Walking to the hair salon, sometimes they'll say, would you like a glass of wine? I always say yes.
Dude, Grace Pettis was telling me about a hair salon where they make you a cocktail and they...
Yeah, mine doesn't do
there.
cocktails, but they do wine.
A beer, yeah. Wine and beer.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. If you offer it, yeah. If you've got it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in. You know? I don't know. I just like to live life to the fullest.
Speaking of that, you're out. You're going to be playing more shows.
I am. I'm vaccinated.
Me too.
My band is vaccinated. You know, before I took the show at 310, I was like feeling guilty. I actually talked to Sarah and MC about this, and I was like, man, and they were like, no. and we all kind of agreed, like, we musicians have done what we were supposed to do. You know what I mean? We haven't fucking played shows.
Yeah.
We haven't done jack shit.
You got vaccinated.
We've been inside.
Get out there and do
exactly.
it. Exactly.
We're vaccinated. And if your dumbass wants to come out to a show unvaccinated and not wear a mask, that's your fucking bullshit. But I did my part for over a fucking year.
Yeah.
And I did my shit. I got vaccinated and now I'm fucking done, you know? And if there comes a time where we got to go back in again, and I'll do what I have to do. But right now, I've done all the things and I don't feel bad about playing a show.
I booked a show at 310, but I booked it like in March, but it's happening at the end of June. And then I've noticed that like mine one was like limited capacity, mask restrictions. But then I go to Continental Club the other night. It's like a full no mask party
at Continental Club.
And then same at Saxon Pub the other day. I haven't been to a younger person's place.
I mean, I was happy that 310 was limited capacity because honestly, it was pretty crowded even at limited capacity. But what's great about there is that whole back wall opens up, so it's not like totally closed in. But you know, when I was there, I saw your little sign up on the. Or I saw your picture. You know, they had the screen in the green room.
Thing?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I actually think I took a screenshot. And I was like, I got to send this to Johnny. But, you know, like we were loading in and all this shit was going on. And I forgot. So
I'm excited to play there.
So that's where I filmed my music video for Thunder. And choreographed by MC Glazer.
Oh, very good.
Shot by Dorothy Bennett and Andrew Bennett Creative. Yep. Dorothy was like fully, like, I think she gave birth like 4 weeks after that or something. I mean, she was like fully pregnant. But I shot the video there. And while I was shooting, I was like, man, I wish I could play here one day. And I was going, I'll never get to play here. You know, no one's ever going to let me play here. Ask me to play here. And then like right after, I mean, not even, it was right after they were like, hey, come play. I was like, oh, wow, weird. You know? Yeah. So my point is, put negativity out into the universe and good things will happen. I manifested that with negative energy.
Yeah, I love that place. I play there with this band. I'm in Skyrocket.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Skyrocket.
Oh, Skyrocket. I've got my own show there too.
But okay, so what's Skyrocket?
Skyrocket's a cover band.
Oh, the cover band.
Specializing in 70s and 80s.
I can't remember what I saw was Skyrocket or you. I think it was you.
Yeah, I'm playing there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope it goes well.
Me too.
Okay, break a leg, you know.
No, thank you for saying it like that.
Break both of them.
Break them all.
Yeah.
So over the coming months, you'll be playing shows. You have an announcement you can't make.
Yeah, I don't.
It's also in that text message or in that post you put that there was a third thing.
There's a third thing that I'm very excited about.
Good.
Maybe when it comes out, we'll know. Well, I don't think if this comes out on when I think it is, I don't think we can say anything yet.
Okay.
But it's very good. That's exciting for me and like a local accomplishment.
Yeah.
I made a list of things that I wanted during the pandemic.
Okay.
I just listed them out and several of those things have happened.
What are the things outside of this one?
Okay. I wanted to be on the cover of Billboard magazine, and that happened. I wanted to have 50,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
That happened.
I wanted this thing there. I wanted something else kind of big. Oh, my vinyl was big. This was before I knew I was going to do vinyl. That I would do vinyl. I don't know. There were just several things, and I was like, oh man, a lot of these boop, 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 happened. Yeah. Oh, I think I said I wanted to be written up in the Chronicle. I was. So yeah, I manifested that by making a list. So negative energy, make a list. Okay. I think I drew block letters. If you guys want to know what exactly how, I don't think I just wrote them. I think I did block letters. So that there may be something to that aspect. So block letters for your list.
What's on your list now?
Well, now since I got Billboard, probably cover Rolling Stone. Cover the Chronicle. I'm going to put that out there. I want to be on the cover. I want a big old picture of my ass on the cover. Just my ass.
Just your ass.
Yeah. No cat. No. Don't identify me. just a picture of my ass. No. Cover the Chronicle. I want to go on tour with a bigger band.
Okay.
I want to open for a band, and I want to tour. So, I mean, I want to tour as me, but I really think I just want to hop on somebody's tour. You know what I'm saying?
Even if you're playing bass in a band or something.
And no, I want to open for someone.
Okay.
But if
Open
they need someone who can also multitask and then
Right.
play bass for them after
true.
I play, then hell yeah.
Hell
Even though
yeah.
I'm like, I feel like a terrible bass player, but you know.
I thought you were good.
Thank you. Really? Are you just saying that?
No, I
feel like
thought that was a really great show.
Okay, well that makes so. This is what the bass thing is just crazy because Sarah asked me to play bass like right before the pandemic happened, and I think it was a show in February at Stubbs Indoor.
Okay.
And I was like, sure, okay, yeah, I'll play bass for you. Not really thinking anything because I'd never played bass before. I mean, I had a bass that I just never played,
Right.
and thinking, it'll be fine. And then I start listening to Sarah's, and I've heard Sarah's songs, but I didn't actively pay
The bass lines.
attention.
Yeah.
And her stuff is so intricate. It's not just like boom, boom, ba-dum,
No.
boom, boom. It's like boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I mean, you're moving all over the place.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh shit, what have I done? What have I done? Oh my God. So then I really had to like practice and stuff, and I was freaking out. And then like my husband would come home while I was playing, and the second someone else would walk into the house, I'd be doing fine. And the second he walked in, it would just be like, brang, brang, like I didn't know how to play anymore. It's like, I'm going to ruin this show for her. And then I don't know. Then all of a sudden I kind of started getting it, and I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I should have been playing bass my whole life.
Yeah.
That's
Seems
another
like you
lesson.
were.
Just pick up an instrument and see what happens.
I believe in
Cello. Somebody out there get a cello.
that. Well, some of them are harder than others.
Bass, I think to be really good at bass is very hard. To be just average is easy.
Yeah.
And I am an average, probably below average bass player.
I'm a below average
but I
bass
can
player.
pass. You
Yeah.
know?
I come up with some good stuff sometimes.
I don't come up with anything good. Well, no, I mean, I produce all my music and I make all my own bass lines that way, but I'm not playing the bass. I'm playing it with my little fingers on a keyboard. So that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, it is. When you're writing a song, do you have like how does that? I know it's different every time, but do you write and record at the same time?
Like
Like your demo or
produce
whatever?
and-
Yeah, like produce it and like.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes I just like am driving in the car and I have a song idea and I sing it to my phone and then I go from there. Sometimes I start with a bass line and I just start kind of flowing and see what comes out, and I start producing around that like little part I'm doing. And then other times I just get enough down to outline it and then produce it from there. I mean, it's kind of different. It really is different every time.
It is different every time.
I think the things that inspire me the most are just like a cool bass line and a click, and not letting like anything else, like percussion and stuff can sometimes like guide you so much. I kind of like to keep it pretty bare, see what happens, and then, produce around the.
Yeah. I've been doing some sitting down and trying to write using that drum machine and playing bass so that I stop strumming a G chord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I mean, I grew up writing with the guitar, with the acoustic guitar. That was like pretty much my primary way of writing. And, when you start moving into more electronic stuff, it does open up a lot of, progressions maybe, or just things you wouldn't do when you play guitar. You just get in your little rut and you're used to doing this thing, moving your capo around. Maybe if I play the G chord up here on 7,
no, it was a G chord.
Something going to happen. So I think it did open up, a lot of potential in terms of, maybe changing. And also, it's so easy. Like if you are, recording, producing, and you're in the box, you can just change the key as you feel, and
that's true,
stuff like that. So
I did that on a song I was writing,
it.
and we used it. We're still kind of finishing up the recording of it, but I was working with my friend Gabe, and we wrote the song and recorded our parts, and then the drummer came in and laid down his drums, and then I went to go sing, and I was like, "This is too low.
Yeah,
like doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
it sounds boring.
Yeah."
Then we raised the key, but we had to do it before the bass guy came in. Yeah. Exactly how I sing that song now.
I love that. I knew that.
Your voice is still holding up good through the pandemic?
Oh my gosh. I was like, I thought you were going to be because like I'm an old bitch now.
No, but there's that, if you don't use it, you lose it.
I never stopped playing and sing. I mean, and that's the other thing. Some people like, I'm going in the studio to make my album. I'm writing my album. That's just, I'm always
Writing
writing my
the
album,
album.
and
Yeah.
I'm always working on new songs. I'm always recording. I'm always, so I never stopped. And I did do some live streams, bringing it back to live streams.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How did that work out for you? How'd you do those?
So I did.
Did I watch?
I did a couple. Okay, so I did. My big one was when I opened for the Midnight, their COVID-19 relief live stream.
Right.
And that one was fun. I don't do it. I don't do anything normal. There were 3 primos at the same time playing different instruments on the screen.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
I did like a whole thing. My dog was in it. He was the audience, and I gave him voices and different outfits and stuff to interact with. So that one was fun. Oh, I mean, I even filmed different angles. I had a camera like above me where I sang to, and then I sat up. There was another camera, and I did all this intricate shit. And then I did another one that was super intricate, and that was the one that Yate did.
Yeah.
Where I was like a host of a variety show, and it was like half comedy, half songs. I don't know. I changed outfits 4 times.
That's awesome.
Do a lot of editing, make them fun. So I guess they're pre-taped live streams,
Right.
But I hate live streams. I think they're terrible, and I never want to do one again. That being said.
Yeah, I think I'm burnt out.
I wouldn't mind I don't mind a live performance of a song taped, but I hate live streams. They sound like shit.
Yeah.
They're weird to perform.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do it. Like, honestly, unless it was Bruce fucking Springsteen or somebody saying, "Hey, want to be on my live stream?"
Yeah, you're not.
I ain't fucking doing it. I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work if you do a pre-taped one that's like good. It's like days of work for me. So, juice ain't worth the squeeze, brother.
No, baby, brother. I forgot about that. Your Hulk Hogan brother. How's it going with Joe Barlow and the Heavy Friending?
So good.
Yeah.
Well, we were lazy shits during the pandemic about the podcast. We still did it off and on, but like we had no consistency. We're back now. We just put an episode out last week. We're actually hosting tomorrow night a screening of some Ryan Reynolds movie, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard or something. So yeah, we're like doing more stuff like that. We did interview the mayor during the pandemic.
I saw that one.
Was it interesting?
I did see that one.
So yeah, we're still plugging along and best of friends. He was at my show on
Thursday I wasn't at.
And the one at 310, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll see him this evening. We're going to record this evening. So
That mayor, man.
Hey, that mayor. He did say that we're Austin's #1 friendship-based podcast.
Really?
I did get him to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interviewing was really tough because I don't know where he was sitting or what he was doing, but his whole interview was like this. I mean, like he was standing in front of it sounded like he had a microphone up to like a old fan.
Yeah.
But he was fun. I mean, he was a good sport on the podcast. But
He's a nice guy.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's been a running joke on our podcast that we like talk about him like every episode in some way, in it like a bad way. Like he tried to invite us to Cabo or something. We always say like some kind of lie.
Oh yeah, didn't he do
him.
some kind of thing like that during the pandemic?
He did do that thing.
I did right before the pandemic. I did something for Austin Music Foundation, and he was there, and I was there, and we were in the back, and I was like, "Hey, take a picture." And he's like, "Yeah, man." So we take a picture, and I posted it. And I went up and spoke, and then played a song. Came in that like 10 minutes. Like I came back, I had to take the picture down because people were saying so much horrible shit.
Oh, bad stuff about him. Oh, Steve. Hey,
it was
Steve.
right after the people started making the city and be in front of my HEB over here and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I think he's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
It's probably time for change.
Yeah.
He's been the mayor a while, and that's just the natural course of politics. It's time for fresh blood or whatever. We're good.
Yeah.
But Steve, you're welcome to come back on my podcast anytime.
Yeah.
And we can talk about the issues.
Steve, I'm scared to have you on because
I'll ask the hard questions though. Okay. Which is the best resort in Cabo? Is the all-inclusive worth it?
Have you gotten to go anywhere?
On like a trip?
Yeah.
No, I've only gone home to visit my family, but I want to start playing out of town, so I may be doing that soon. We'll see.
I hope that happens. People can find you at primothealien.com.
Wow, what a transition. I appreciate that.
You like that?
It's very pro.
That's my towards the end.
I like the
Like-
hope that happens. PrimoTheAlien.com. Listen to her. Bye.
Thanks for coming later. No, your album, Hard on the Run, fantastic EP.
Thank you.
Also, Rock Professor, which you can only get on vinyl right now, but eventually that'll come out on the streaming services, right?
I don't think so. I think it's staying physical.
Wow.
Yeah. So Bandcamp, PrimoTheAlien.bandcamp.com, where you can purchase the vinyl and find me on Spotify. Here's the thing about Spotify. It's hard to find me because I don't go by Primo the Alien on Spotify.
Just Primo.
And then there's this whole fucking story about there is a Primo the Alien on there because someone uploaded a song.
That's the green person?
It's me, but someone uploaded a song with the wrong metadata.
Right.
It created a Primo the Alien page. So now when people look for me, they go to that and it's got one fucking song on it. It's not the thing. And it's really annoying because I asked them to change it and they won't change it. It's like a whole thing. But just type in Primo Do It Again or Primo number 1 Alien or just Primo in one of my song titles and you'll find me. So stream away, baby.
Yeah. It's great talking to you.
Great talking to you too. Thanks for having me, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. Glad you're not too famous for it.
What's that?
I'm glad you're not too famous for it yet.
Oh, well, as soon as that magazine comes out,
never be
as
here
soon
again.
as the physical copies of Billboard magazine.
I'm never talking to you again.
Can we give it another go? Undo what we did.
Primo the Alien. Check out her dual EPs, Hard on the Run, which is available everywhere, wherever you stream and download your jams. And of course, Rock Professors, that second EP, vinyl exclusive songs, which you can only get by getting the vinyl. Go to PrimoTheAlien.com for all of your Primo needs. I love talking to her. She's so cool. She's so great. I always feel like she makes me laugh a lot. She's very funny. And we got one brother in. Like, yeah, the Hulk Hogan, brother. Go to PrimoTheAlien.com. Check out her music. She is fucking great. I love Primo. All right. Don't forget when you're out there checking out PrimoTheAlien.com, you can subscribe to this podcast wherever it is that you find podcasts, be it Spotify, TuneIn, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. New shows every week. 3 shows a week right now. That's what we're dropping. Normally it's 2 shows a week, but right now, 3 shows a week. 3 shows next week too. Lots of podcasts coming your way. All right. Have a great weekend, whatever it is you're doing. Let's get down.
I wanna go back and do it again. I wanna do it again. Oh, I wanna go back and do it again. And then we'll do it again. Oh, I'll do it again. Take back the way I left, the things you said. We could just forget it. Maybe our history will only repeat itself, but it's worth the risk.